guys, this is Jackie Cooper with JCooperTravels, and I have a really special guest here today. Tiffany actually is in a field that I'm just learning about, and I am so excited. I came across Tiffany through a mutual friend of mine, and it was a referral because I was looking for new and unusual professions to interview about on JCooperTravels, and I feel really lucky to be talking to you today, Tiffany. Thank you so much for being here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce the name of your business, and exactly what it is that you do.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you. My name is Dr. Tiffany Brown. I'm a naturopathic doctor. My business name is ND Health Calls, like as a naturopathic doctor, health calls. And I'm just out of school. I just board certified now. Got my last test results back. So looking good. And I have an online virtual medical practice.
I think that's awesome. Now, I have total respect for you because, as you know, we've talked, and my background, besides being law, is I'm a special ed teacher, and I'm also national board certified from that. So I know how hard it was for you to become board certified.
Yeah.
What's the process? How long does it take for someone to become certified? Because I know it's not an easy path.
No, it isn't. There's two tests. There's a part one that's we take rarely after like our 2 years of clinical science. So that test tests us on our clinical science part. And then the last test is after we graduate. And then that's over like the clinical science of everything. It covers everything from things like, that you might not even be dealing with, but you just still have to know.
So what made you decide to become a naturopathic doctor?
Mm-hmm. Well, years ago, I was sick and I had my own health concerns going on. And I was in school doing other things, trying to live my life, and my health condition had slowed me down. And so I started going from doctor to doctor, trying to figure out what was going on. And I had a good team of doctors, but it was like nothing was changing. And so I knew I had to do something fast to change the trajectory of my condition, because it would have gotten worse. So I just remember my father always talking about not naturopathic medicine, but natural remedies and herbs that he would use for his symptoms. And I was like, let me look and see, what's out there for, my condition. And so when I started researching, there was so much. It was like overwhelming, and I didn't know what to do. So I knew I had to do something with my diet, because that was like first thing I noticed I've seen a lot of. And I just didn't really know how to go about changing my diet to make it easy and doable for long periods. And so I ordered 2 supplements offline, just random. And I took them for about 5 weeks, and I started seeing results. Like after a year of seeing doctors, I've had the best results. And I knew I didn't fix my condition, but I saw improvements. So I started looking up who could do herbs, who knew herbs that was close to me, so I can go and start working with them, getting my condition, my health better. And there was no one around me, but I kept seeing naturopathic medicine coming up in my searches. And I said, let me see what this is. And so when I started looking, it was a school that you had to go to, and it had to be accredited and had all these things. And I was like, you know what, since no one is doing this, I can do this. I can do it, and I'm like, I can help people, because, we need this, that extra help, being able to see somebody else when your regular doctors can't seem to fix it. You just have to have that extra person. That's like, have opportunities to help yourself get better. So
I love that. I love that. So, with the this type of specialty, how do you is it can you practice everywhere, or is it like certain states? If someone wanted to, I know for those that are listening,
Mhm.
if you haven't listened to a podcast before, my podcast or somewhere else, and this might be your first time, or if you haven't visited YouTube, there's always a block of information above the podcast or above the YouTube. So know that you're going to have the ability to contact her and the business, so that way people can reach out. And but what state-wise, are you able to practice in all states? How does that work?
So right now, there's about 22 states that's licensed. A naturopathic doctor can practice to the full scope of their abilities, everything they learned. And so I'm in a state where that is not licensed, but we have a bill in, but it just hasn't passed yet. So there's certain things I'm not able to do. I'm not able to touch a patient, diagnose, or treat. So I just have to change my terminology. I can't diagnose, so maybe, and I can't treat. So I'm recommending things,
Got it.
different things to help you out.
Got it. So right now, obviously, because of the COVID situation, all of your consultations would be via Zoom.
Yeah.
But that means that now, can you do this globally, or is it just in the United States as well?
Well, I better stick with the United States because I don't know how it would be globally. Um, I haven't read anything on it that I can't, but I just rather be safe with this, what I'm doing.
Understood, understood. So for those of my listeners who are overseas, because I know that I do have listeners in Scotland and UK, as well as in other countries.
Yeah.
If you have a question, definitely feel free to reach out, and we'll do the research for you,
Yeah.
because both of us have an interest in this area. And we might find that this can extend into other areas. So, what exactly how would someone know that, or think that maybe they should contact you? I mean, what areas could you maybe help them with?
Okay. We're trained as primary care doctors, as regular primary care, so we can handle anything. And even though we'll be doing mainly botanicals and just vitamin like supplements and diet changes and lifestyle changes, you will still see benefit from just doing that. So that's what I try to tell people: don't be scared to try something different. You know, if you just want to try something different, just give me a call, or and we can talk personally. But my specialty is, because of the sicknesses, the illnesses I had was women problems. I love women's health. I think we kind of the medical doctors do a good job. We need them, but I think also too, I can really do some other things that kind of help the women right along.
You know what? I think that's phenomenal. I mean, I love supporting women and
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs, and those that are reaching beyond, because I agree with you. So often we're not forgotten, but again, we don't always think about taking care of ourselves,
Okay.
because we're the providers for so
Mm-hmm.
many other people. So I really appreciate the fact that you bring that up, because we having that as a specialty, even though you have skills in every area, I think that that's an important thing, because we don't always think about it.
Yeah.
But now, someone who's listening might think, I've got someone now I can call.
Yeah.
So that's great. So in terms of your practice, what are your goals for your practice? Where do you see yourself in a few years?
So in 5 years, I do want to do like a brick and mortar. And I still want to keep the telehealth going, because I know everybody won't be in the city down located. So I always wanted to support them. And but I just want to, be able to sometimes some patients like to be touched, like their blood pressure taken, like their ears and their eyes looked at. They just like that. And we're trained to do that. And so for those people, I want brick and mortar. So in 5 years, hopefully, that's what I'll have.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So I know that you and I have also talked about another passion of ours, and that's the travel side.
Yeah.
And I shared the I Go for Less platform with you. And for those that don't know, I have access to a free wholesale travel member portal that you'll have within the block of information, so that way you can access it and activate it. When you activate it, it is free. There's a foundation associated with it, so that means that uh, our foundation donates to two charities, Mana Relief and Children's International. So families are fed every time that the free activation happens. And then when you end up booking a trip on it, or excursion, or even restaurants and things like that, where you can save up to 35%, another donation and another meal is fed. So my personal goal, is to activate over 1,000 new portals, because that means for me 1,000 families have been fed. So I appreciate you guys looking at that. I recently, before COVID, went to China with my daughter, but I have on my bucket list, and I want to go to actually the islands. I haven't really traveled a lot in the islands, and I really, really would love to go and just kind of island hop, which would be fun. What's on your bucket list of where you want to go?
I want to go back to Haiti. I loved it. Oh my goodness, I loved it. So there, and most definitely Las Vegas. So somewhere quick, just a quick women's excursion.
Yeah. Now I know when you went to Haiti, when was it, and what did you see, and how did you go?
It was in 2014. I went on a mission trip with a church out of Kentucky, and
Mhm.
we went to Carrefour, Haiti, and we landed in Port-au-Prince, and we was able to do mission trips up in the mountains, and it was still devastating in 2014. So, they're still trying to work, and mission trips are still going on. So I would love to do another mission trip. And at that time, I wasn't even a naturopathic doctor or knew anything about it. So now look what I can do, to really help people.
It'd be phenomenal. I mean, again, for those that are interested in different causes and helping people, I will put another link also in the podcast area, so that way if you would like to support Haiti and the continuing redevelopment, because so many communities, we help in the immediate time period,
Yeah.
but there's always that continuing need, because it always takes a long time to get
Mhm.
back to where they were.
Yeah.
So any last minute things that you want to share with the listeners? I think that I know I'll be calling you for your services. And I know a number of people I can refer, because
Yeah.
it's just exciting to know that you're here. But
Yeah.
any last minute thing you want to share with those that are listening right now?
I would love to, like you were saying, Jacqueline, about doing other podcasts. I would love to do another podcast, something related to women. So we can talk about, go in depth and talk about a little more about different things. And just how to contact me. Um, my website is indiehealthcalls.com, all one word. And you can email me at clinic@indiehealthcalls.com. And that's it. I'm thankful to be ready to get started.
I'm thankful that you're starting to, and I agree with you. There will be more podcasts, guys. So definitely subscribe to my current podcast, J Cooper Travels. Subscribe to the YouTube side, so that way you can also watch, because right, some of the topics that we talk about are very broad in general, but it is important to dive deep with some of the topics. So that's why we'll do follow-up podcasts, and with your being a subscriber, there's no cost to subscribe. You'll be able to see what gets posted, and you'll be able to learn more about the follow-up conversations that I have with Tiffany. And really, a great deal of respect, and thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.